How might I address you, sir, as well as your...
Just Kaeya is fine. I'm standing in today for Elzer, who usually manages the winery's business. And this is my good friend.
A pleasure to meet you as well. I'm not just here today to pay a visit. I actually have an invitation for Master Diluc to cut the ribbon at a ceremony to celebrate our agency's business. Our collaboration with Dawn Winery last year was quite successful, and I was curious about your product shipment plans for the next quarter. If it's no trouble, please, also mention to Master Diluc that our agency has expanded this year, so if the winery has any additional needs, please consider us.
Master Kaeya, the apple cider you requested.
Master? Wait. Pardon my foolishness, but might I inquire as to your relation to Dawn Winery?
I'm Master Krepus's adopted son, and Master Diluc's brother. However, as a serving captain with the Knights of Favonius, I am rarely at the winery.
My mistake. I apologize for not realizing earlier. I do hope I have not done you a discourtesy.
You may have misunderstood, Mr. Guangzhe. Though I am Master Diluc's brother, I don't actually live at Dawn Winery. I'm also a guest here today. I'm merely here receiving guests due to Elzer being temporarily indisposed. But please, don't worry. I will be sure to extend your invitation to Master Diluc.
Thank you for your graciousness. I knew the Dawn Winery's wines were delicious, but I am only now discovering how wonderful the apple cider is. It has a clear and inviting fragrance.
In addition to the apple cider, the winery has an extensive collection of reserve wines and liquors. I see you are also a connoisseur of fine wines, so it would be a shame not to sample some. Adeland, please fetch a bottle from the reserve collection in the second floor wine locker.
As you wish, Master.
Thank you again for your most gracious hospitality. Today's trip was very fruitful. Now, allow your humble servant to take his leave.
Please, it was a pleasure. Here's hoping we'll have a chance to share some more fine wines together in the future.
The guest has left, Master Kaeya. It's no skin off my nose. Master Diluc may have a few choice words when he learns of the situation, but that's all. All I really wanted to say is, you will always be a part of the Dawn Winery family, Master Kaeya. I have never considered you an outsider. No matter when, if you ever feel tired, you'll always be welcome here.
I understand, Adeland. Oh, now this is a busy day. Who's at the door this time?
Hello, everyone. I'm back.
Now that was fast. How are you feeling?
The doctor said there was nothing to worry about. I just need some rest. But on the way back, I met someone who was looking for Master Kaeya.
Kaeya! Shh! Klee's here to rescue you! Come on! Let's escape! Ah! Miss Honorary Knight! Are you grounded with Kaeya too?
Grounded? Yes, Albedo was saying something about that. Sumeru was fun, but it can't compare with Mondstadt. So here we are.
You two must have done something to make Jean mad, but that's okay. Kaeya has rescued Klee loads of times before, so when Albedo told me you came back, I went and said sorry to Jean. Kaeya, you're free now! We can go play together again!
Oh, if my memory serves me correctly, this child is...
This is a fully qualified Knight of Favonius, Klee.
Hello, miss. I'm Klee. We're sorry. Please don't ground Kaeya.
What?
I really need to take Kaeya and Miss Honorary Knight away so we can go find Albedo, Sucrose, Amber, and everyone else and play together.
I see. Hello, Miss Klee. You needn't worry. Master Kaeya's grounding is long over.
See, Adeland, you don't need to worry about me. I have lots of people to care for me now. I'm surprised Klee still hasn't escaped. Kids will always have their moments of mischief. Well, now that all the gifts for the Knights of... Ooh, how about we visit the Dawn Winery under the... Diluc should be there tomorrow since he has business to deal with. But then there's nothing scheduled for... What do you think? When should we go? That works. Then I guess we'll see Diluc. Let's meet at the front entrance of the Dawn Winery tomorrow. You made it. Come on, let's go inside. Brace yourself for some sour grapes.
If you're not feeling well, then let me go this time.
Oh, I'm fine. It's not serious.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not interrupting anything important.
What are you doing here today? And I see you've brought a +1.
Oh, it's nothing particularly pressing. It's just that we recently returned from Sumeru, and given how long it's been since we last visited the winery, we thought we'd drop by and say hello.
Is that it? Make yourselves comfortable then.
Oh, do you really mean that? Because my definition of comfortable happens to involve prodigious amounts of your finest wines. Speaking of which, I'm curious where you store the wine these days. Is it the same place as it always used to be?
Sounds like you're in a hurry to reach your goal. Been plotting this raid for a long time?
Plotting a raid? Why, you misunderstand me. The truth is, a rumor happened to reach my ears recently. My informants tell me that last month, the Dawn Winery spent a large sum of mora on 2 bottles of limited edition Northland Valberry liquor. However, it turns out that they were likely just cheap knockoffs masquerading as the real thing. Of course, a teetotaler like yourself would struggle to tell the difference. So why not get a connoisseur to help you appraise the quality? Ah, wait. But the sterling reputation of Dawn Winery is at stake. Why, if you really purchased bootleg liquor, that would be scandalous. Better to have unknown and insignificant alcohol aficionados do the taste test for you, to prevent word getting out.
Quite the story. You used that one last year. Got anything else?
What? Really? I totally forgot. In that case, how about the principle of reciprocity? Here, this is for you. I bought it for you in Sumeru, and it cost a veritable mountain of mora.
Thanks. Put it on the table.
That's it? No comment whatsoever?
You want a comment? Okay then. This thing is very in line with your unique aesthetic tastes. Much like that vase over there. Elzer, fetch a bottle of this year's newest batch from the warehouse, or else someone will keep blathering on with endless excuses.
One moment, Master Kaeya. I shall fetch it immediately.
What's wrong, Elzer? Are you okay?
My throat is a bit raspy is all. It got better after I began taking medicine, but recently it flared up again. Other than a bit of difficulty breathing now and then, it's nothing to be concerned about.
Many illnesses are caused by overwork. If you don't get enough rest, medicine alone won't solve the problem. Surely you should have long since handed over the work of the winery to Diluc by now. You can't keep being Diluc's butler. He's becoming a louse.
Actually, most of the time he...
Take some time off, Elzer. Don't put it off any longer. I'll handle the guild matters. It's important to take care of your health. You have to take it seriously. And, cavalry captain, you would do well to remember that brevity is the soul of wit.
Master Diluc, Master Kaeya, thank you both. Then I'll take my leave and rest for a few days.
Enjoy your vacation. Though, before you officially clock out, let me head out the door with you. We can grab a few bottles on the way. There's nothing quite like enjoying a quality wine while feeling the gentle breeze against your face.
Normally I'd accompany you, but unfortunately I still have some pressing matters to take care of. My apologies and regards to both of you.
Really? Oh, that's a shame.
Where's Kaeya? Gone already? Right now, just the usual day-to-day winery business. But I'll be attending a meeting in Elzer's place shortly. The meeting concerns research and development of new beverages, and involves collaboration between several different wineries. It makes more sense for me to attend anyway. Kaeya can answer any questions you might have while I'm not here. He's quite familiar with the winery.
I asked Connor to select a bottle of our best. He'll bring it by shortly.
You asked Connor?
He hasn't seen you in a while. He's just happy to be able to do this for you.
Considerate as ever. Ah, Elzer, I also brought you a gift. Here, this belt buckle's for you.
Such artistry. Thank you very much indeed. I'll put it on as soon as I get home.
Glad you like it. Go on, enjoy your time off. And don't forget to see a doctor.
Very well, Master Kaeya. I'll be taking my leave now.
Elzer is a good guy, and he's very responsible. But with 1,000 different things to worry about each day, that same sense of responsibility wears him down.
Master Kaeya, your wine and an apple cider for your friend. All freshly fermented this year. Please, have a taste. Traveler, this one's for you.
Oh, very clear. And a full-bodied aroma. That's rather nice.
Isn't it? This one's a little on the sweeter side, but I can go grab a dry one if you'd prefer.
No need. Sweet is just fine. Let's drink one together.
Don't mind if I do. I haven't caught up with you like this in a long time. We used to always pour the first glass for you when cracking open a new barrel. With you gone these past few years, I've had to drink it for you.
Well, since it wasn't me harvesting the grapes, de-stemming, or crushing them, it's much more fitting that you should take the first taste.
It's an important step in the winemaking process. After harvesting the grapes, the stems have to be removed prior to fermentation, or they'll affect the quality. If you'd like, Traveler, you can help us harvest some grapes. Winemaking can be quite a lot of fun.
It isn't nearly as exciting as he makes it sound. Your back will be in so much pain after picking grapes that you won't be able to stand up straight.
Master Kaeya is right. Harvesting grapes is a back-breaking labor. But seeing the grapes turn into grape juice, then ferment into wine, is a fascinating experience. And every person at the winery should have a chance to share in it.
Wait, so Diluc actually helps you with the winemaking?
Oh, goodness no. Master Diluc is far too busy, not just during the day, but even at night.
Oh? And just what is Diluc always so busy with?
Well, come nightfall, he's always out there, networking and so on. Master Kaeya, you may be surprised to learn just what lengths Master Diluc is willing to go to for the sake of the business.
Connor, you're an awful liar. I hate to see you struggle.
Oh, so Master Kaeya, how do you like your drink? I remember you weren't very interested in wine when you were young.
That was because the adults said children weren't allowed even a drop. Don't you remember how much trouble Diluc got in that time he snuck a drink?
Ah, yes, of course. Adeline even covered for the two of you.
But on a serious note, having grown up at a winery, I spent my childhood watching Tunner plant the grape seeds, waiting for them to ripen on the vine, harvesting them together, and waiting for the alcohol to ferment. Even though I couldn't help with making distilled spirits, watching everyone work was fascinating. How could anyone not love to drink with a childhood like that? So, let us raise a glass to wine itself, and in thanks to the gracious hospitality the winery has shown us today.
Hear, hear, to Dawn Winery.
Speaking of wine, Connor, I have a gift for you. It's a decanter set from Sumeru.
I get a present too? Thank you, Master Kaeya. Time really does fly. I still remember the days when everyone was giving you gifts at your birthday parties when you were young. Now I have wrinkles and Tunner's bent double, while Master Kaeya is the cavalry captain of the Knights of Favonius.
How is Tunner holding up?
He's still tough, but getting on in years, so some things just aren't as easy as they were. But he's used to doing things his way and doesn't trust new employees to do it for him. A lot of the temporary workers I hired quit because they couldn't handle how picky he was. Master Kaeya, if you have time, why not go talk to him about it? You're probably the only person he'll listen to besides Master Diluc.
I definitely owe him a visit. I haven't seen him in some time, and I do have fond memories of the days when he was teaching me to pick grapes. Busy day today, Tunner?
Oh, Master Kaeya, you're back. No, I'm not at all busy. I just spend my hours watching the grapes growing on the vine. They're growing wonderfully this year. A few rows are almost ripe. We've already begun harvesting them these past few days, so that'll keep me occupied. Sit. After we're done picking, I'll bring a few bunches over for you to try.
No need. We were just drinking with Connor, and our stomachs are so full of wine that we couldn't eat a bite.
What about your friend? Doesn't she want to try?
Allow me to introduce the honorary knight of the Knights of Favonius.
Ah, the honorary knight in the flesh. There are so many talented people in the Knights of Favonius. You all have bright futures ahead of you.
Harvesting grapes is hard work. Let me help you. Do you still remember how I used to help out when we were short-handed?
I believe I do. In that case, I'm counting on you. What's this? Everyone's clamoring to do manual labor? Well, suits me. More help is always appreciated. Come with me, young lass. I'll tell you which grapes are ripe enough, and you can pick them. Ooh, you have nimble hands, lassie. Master Kaeya wasn't nearly so careful when he was young. He mangled so many his first time. What a waste. Fortunately, the young master has a good head on his shoulders. Didn't take long for him to get up to speed. And now he's turned into such an outstanding young man, polite and kind. If I had a son as exceptional as Kaeya, oh, I would be the happiest man in Mondstadt. There's a few more rows of grapes up ahead. Let's finish picking them together. Careful not to damage the grapes when you pinch the stem. These grapes look excellent. You're a fast learner. I'll take them. Good job. Master Kaeya left the winery and moved to Mondstadt. Just like my own son, Guy. He left home to join the Knights of Favonius, too. I don't know him like Miss Adeline or Master Diluc do, but I know that no matter how old your child gets, they always need a home they can come back to. And without family by your side, you at least need the companionship of friends. I've been working here for decades and watched him grow up with my own two eyes. Sometimes I get the sense that there is something bothering him, something deep-rooted. But he guards his secrets closely. Or perhaps he just doesn't want to involve us. After all, I doubt that we could help him. I can see that you have a good relationship with Master Kaeya. Please look after him. He's very dear to us. Hearing that puts my mind at ease. You're a good child. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. Knowing that he has a friend like you, we here at the winery can be happy for him.
You're looking very happy, Tunner. Was the traveler telling you some jokes?
No jokes. I've received a letter from my son, Guy. He's really going places. I'm so delighted. Master Kaeya, honorary knight. My eyesight is fading in my old age. Could you read it out for me?
Of course.
Thank you both.
You're always so busy. It's high time you gave yourself a proper... And anyway, life is short, so we should make the most of the time we have. Right now is the perfect time to relax and enjoy ourselves. And who knows how many other chances we'll get. So come on, what do you say? Great. Music to my ears. I'll cover the travel costs, of course. There's nothing more enjoyable than the company of a good friend. Let's call this a nice little excursion to round off my long business trip. Now, let me think where we should go. I've seen a lot of Sumeru already, so let's go for someplace new. How about Liyue? I'd be heading past there on my way back to Mondstadt anyway, so it's not out of the way. Well, lucky me. I'll hold you to that. Liyue's Ministry of Civil Affairs frequently corresponds with the Knights of Favonius, so the address on their letterhead is one of the few places I'm familiar with. I don't have much luggage, so it won't take me long to pack. Give me a moment, and then we'll head there together. I've heard that there's lots to see and do in Liyue, but I'm sure you're more familiar with the place than I am, so I'll leave the itinerary to you. Great. Maybe you can tell me about your previous travels here along the way. It's such a satisfying feeling to just drop everything, go on a long trip, and see something new. Who knows who we might cross paths with? We might even end up going on an impromptu adventure. Just like how I met you in Port Omos, and now we're here. Come on, let's see what's up ahead. Do you know this shop? It looks pretty nice from the outside. Shall we take a look?
Welcome to Mingxing Jewelry. We are a long-established trader of precious stones. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Let me see. Some nice jewelry you've got here. Maybe I can grab something with a local flavor as a souvenir. What do you think, traveler? See anything that suits my style? I trust your judgment.
You're interested in souvenirs. If you're struggling to decide, you might want to consider getting some jade. You can't go wrong with a nice jade pendant. They're an elegant addition to your look, whatever your age or gender. If you're looking for a specific design, we can make it to your specifications. It does take some time to fulfill an order, however. High-quality jade is hard to come by, so our waiting list is at least a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's a pity. I'm just visiting and I won't be in town for very long. So as much as it pains me to do so, I'm afraid I'll have to leave this beautiful bijou behind.
No worries at all, sir. If you're looking for something off the shelf, why not go and see Mr. Shurto at the Jade Mystery? He also deals in jade and precious stones. Exactly. But on that note, let me give you a word of advice. There's no risk in purchasing a piece of jade that's already been cut. But you could lose all of your mora betting on uncut rocks. I won't say any more, as I don't want my fellow vendors to think I'm bad-mouthing them. But I think you catch my drift. It's only human nature to spend a little when you're on a trip, but don't be too hasty to part with your cash. The Ministry of Civil Affairs takes everyone's economic well-being very seriously, and they often send out the Millilith to spread public awareness of well-known scams. As guests here, I'd encourage you to watch out for anyone trying to rip you off.
I think that's sound advice wherever you go into that. We appreciate it, boss.
Join the adventurers.
Welcome! Looking for uncut stones or pre-cut jade? We've got plenty of both for your viewing pleasure.
Uncut stones. Ah, yes, we were just briefed on that. Let's take a look at the pre-cut jade.
I believe I detect a quiet but distinct tone of apprehension in your words. Please rest assured, there's nothing to be quite so wary about with my business. Feel free to peruse at your leisure. I think you'll find that everything I do here is entirely above board and legitimate, and I sell only pure and unadulterated goods. No scam guaranteed. Sure, you can bet on jade and lose if you're unlucky, but that doesn't make it a scam. My terms are clear and transparent, and I only do business with willing customers. What scammer can claim that?
Sounds perfectly reasonable. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much the vendor is charging. If the customer decides to hand over their money, they're taking the bait of their own free will.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you understand. Although your peculiar phrasing at the end there, you almost make it sound as if I really am scamming people. Anyway, betting on jade is what it is. Feel free to try your luck, but if you can't afford to lose, then it's not for you. We don't need to cause each other any trouble. I'll leave you to browse at your own pace now while I deal with other potential customers.
Amber-colored jade would probably make for a good souvenir. Why not? This is a quirky little place. Somehow, I'm inclined to entertain him for a bit. Well, if you're not interested, then I guess we'll pass.
Ahoy there, Captain! Fancy seeing you back in town. Struck any gold lately?
What, a poor sailor like me? You must be joking. I barely managed to make ends meet. What about you, Chateau? Still scamming people with your pile of rocks?
Hey! Keep your voice down. Can't you see I've got customers? But more to the point, when have you ever seen a customer get scammed in my store?
I mean, you want the full list? Or... Hold up, is that... Captain Kaeya! What, brings you to Liyue?
Oh, just taking a short trip with my friend. It's been a while.
Yes, it's been a good while, hasn't it?
Anywhere you'd recommend I visit while I'm here?
Let me think. Wanmin Restaurant's always a pretty good bet. Chef Mao's daughter is a skilled chef, and their prices are very reasonable. My wife can't get enough of their boiled fish. You could give that a try. And, speaking of my wife, she won't let me forget what a great help you've been to us before. So thank you, on her behalf.
Your wife? Ah, yes. How is she doing these days? Keeping well?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Anyway, I've got something I need to do down at the South Wharf, so my apologies, Captain Kaeya, but I'd better get going.
All right. See you. Ah, I finally remembered who that was. Captain Wu. He runs a transport business between Mondstadt and Liyue.
I see. So you went through that whole conversation with no idea who you were talking to. Well, that explains the generic pleasantries and the general awkwardness. Old Wu's usually quite the chatterbox, so it's very unusual for him to just take off mid-conversation. How exactly do you two know each other anyway?
An educated guess. Yes, you could put it like that. It's pretty straightforward, honestly. The captain was making a delivery to Mondstadt when his ship sprang a leak. He overexerted himself fixing it and keeping the cargo dry, and ended up passing out from exhaustion. I took him to Mondstadt to recover.
Well, it still seems strange to me. Sure, he's hardly the most charming conversationalist, and he's also mighty stubborn, but all of us know Old Wu is an honest and kind-hearted man. His eldest was once playing on that big rock over there when he took a tumble and injured himself. I helped to patch the kid up, and the next day, Old Wu was here to buy a couple of uncut stones. I'm just surprised he was so quick to excuse himself, that's all. Normally, he's the kind of guy who, if you run into him on the street and he owes you a favor, he'll grab you by the hand and thank you profusely until you ask him to stop.
Well, stubborn, I can believe. Someone had drilled a gaping hole in his ship, and the water was coming in fast. How he managed to make it all the way to Mondstadt, not to mention with his cargo intact, I have no idea.
Someone drilled a hole in his ship? Oh dear. It must have been one of the less savory captains out there trying to sabotage his business so they can squeeze their way into the market. When competition is stiff, sometimes things get ugly. It's the way of the world, unfortunately. His line of work isn't easy. The poor fellow usually has to set sail before the break of dawn. He's been loitering around a lot these past few weeks, though. I thought maybe he'd come into some Mora. Competition is fierce these days, and there's not a lot of Mora to be made in shipping. So every day he stays idle is another negative in the books. I do wonder what's gotten into him. Anyway, I digress. We merchants protect our goods like our own lives, so who knows? Maybe he had some important cargo to see to. Either way, good sir, don't mind him.
I am an upstanding member of the Knights of Favonius after all. Just look me in the eyes. Don't you find me trustworthy?
Since you asked about recommendations earlier, you're here from Mondstadt, yes? Might I suggest the tea house is somewhere to rest your legs? If memory serves, they're just about to retell the tale of Bravebeard the Valiant from the top. Why not pay them a visit?
Huh. Sounds interesting enough. Let's check it out. So this is the Huyu Tea House.
We meet again, Captain Kaeya. What a coincidence. Twice in one day. Oh, that didn't take me long, and I ran the whole way.
Wu, weren't you just at Wanwen Bookhouse buying a book for your daughter? What's this talk about the wharf?
Shh, just leave it be, Aunt Zhang. There's no need to embarrass him right in front of everyone else. I take it that you two aren't from around these parts. I'm a caravan guard by trade, and meeting people from all over the world is one of the main perks of the job for me. Why don't you join my table so we can get to know each other?
Oh, seems like the tea house is the place to be in Liyue. Feels like I'm back in the angel share. Did you manage to get something for your daughter just now, Captain Wu?
Yes, thank you. If it weren't for you, Captain Kaeya, she might not have even made it into this world.
I'm so lost, Wu. What's the story here?
Your wife's originally from Mondstadt, isn't she? Did you run into Captain Kaeya when you were there on business, or when you were visiting the in-laws?
The latter. Oh, this is so humiliating. Anyway, back when my wife was pregnant, we were taking a trip to Mondstadt to visit her parents this one time, when we were mugged by a group of treasure hoarders near Dawn Winery.
Oh, that sounds awful. Were either of you hurt?
I mean, he's still here, and he's still got all his limbs, so they can't have roughed him up too bad. I'm guessing Captain Kaeya stepped in before they could do either of you any serious harm, huh?
Yes, he did. Thankfully, he heard my wife crying for help and drove them away. My wife was injured and quite shaken up by the ordeal, so he took her to the winery and asked them to look after her.
So what happened to you? Where did you disappear to?
I was in the water.
Huh? What did you jump in the water for? You know they can still get you in there, right?
No, that's not... I did... They threw me into the water and, stripped me of all my clothes.
They did what? Did they have a weird fetish or something? Stripping a sailor naked and throwing him into the water. It's not like you were going to drown. So, then what? I take it you swam to shore?
The treasure hoarders always move in groups, and fighting back when you're outnumbered isn't usually an option. It's no surprise that they quickly overpowered Captain Wu. I'm just glad that everyone made it out all right at the end.
Captain Kaeya, please, there's no need for you to try to save face for me like this. I already owe you so much. You don't have to do anything more. Yet, despite that, I somehow only ended up humiliating myself further. Oh, there's no point in me trying to save face now. They tossed me into the water to humiliate me, and to use it as leverage to get my wife to pay up. But they didn't know that I could swim. What I'd intended was to pretend to drown, then sneak back onto shore while they weren't looking, and find a way to rescue my wife. That was before Captain Kaeya appeared out of nowhere and saved the day. So then I figured I'd get out of the water, get dressed, and catch up with you. But God knows what they did with my clothes. I couldn't find them anywhere. By the time I gave up looking for them, you were most of the way to the winery, so I had to run after you with nary a thing on myself.
Outrageous!
So, what happened next?
I made it to the winery, but the maids noticed me first, and they called the Lord of the Manor out to give me the beating the treasure hoarders never got around to. After my wife recovered consciousness, she had to have a long talk with the young lord to explain everything. He then escorted us both safely to Stonegate.
Oh, whoa. I'm sorry. But...
Ugh, good luck living that one down.
Trust me, I know. My wife never lets me forget.
I'm sorry, Captain. I wasn't intending to share that story.
It's fine. It's my own fault for thinking I could sweep it under the carpet and forget about it. I don't know if I can ever repay you for all you've done. That's why I get so embarrassed every time I run into you. Still, it won't stop me from trying. You and your friend are here to catch the storyteller, right? The tea's on me. It's the least I can do. In fact, they do serve some food here, too, but it's not the best. Okay, let me run and get some fruit to share. I'll be right back.
I wonder how much Fanaria caught of that. Old Wu really has no filter, does he?
Oh, poor Wu. Oh, gosh. I'm so sorry. It's just...
He really didn't have to share all the details of that story. But since he didn't seem to mind, I wasn't about to stop him. I did actually forget at first, but once he brought up his daughter, the memory of his naked escapades came flooding back. Diluc thought some pervert was harassing the maids. He charged straight out the door, great sword in hand and raring to go. I haven't seen him so angry in a long time. So many people owe me favors nowadays. It's hard to keep track of them all. I really should go check my favors ledger once I'm back and refresh my memory. Hey, you didn't think I was being serious, did you? Do I really strike you as the kind of person to keep track of favors in a notebook? I just helped the guy out on a couple of occasions because I happened to be in the right place at the right time. I have no intention of asking him to do anything for me in return. At least, not so far.
I'm back with fruit. Please help yourselves, everyone. My treat.
Thank you.
Oh, don't mention it. It's just a few fruits, nothing extravagant. Once my new pharmaceutical business takes off and I have mora to spare, I'll get you a proper thank you gift and send it to the Knights of Favonius.
Pharmaceutical business. So you found a new career? No more shipping?
Shipping's impossible work nowadays. There's too much competition and the margins are too small. So I've decided to switch gears. I'm going to become a partner of Boo Boo Pharmacy and provide funding for a brand new medication they're producing. It's specially formulated to treat seasonal joint and limb pain. If you didn't know, it's a very common health complaint among sailors, but also extremely difficult to treat. I've suffered from it myself, which is why I know that a lot of people stand to benefit from this once it enters the market. It's a good cause, and a stable source of income. Whichever way you look at it, it's a step up from the back-breaking work I did before. I've already had some talks and invested 1 million mora for the first round of funding.
That's impressive, Wu. I wouldn't have thought you had the connections for something like that. So is it Dr. Baiju that you're in talks with?
Oh no, not Dr. Baiju. Actually, it was his master, Dr. Baifudze. His medical expertise and clinical experience are second to none, and he really cares about his patients. He gave me a few of his traditionally formulated bone-strengthening pills when he saw me suffering from my leg pains one day. It was like a miracle cure. The pain immediately went away.
Dr. Baiju's master.
Yeah, I told him I'd be enthusiastically recommending his medicine to the other guys at the docks. And after some hesitation, he just went right ahead and wrote up a prescription for me, completely for free. He said that he shouldn't really be handing out free prescriptions since, and I quote, "it goes against generations of tradition handed down by our forebears." But he just felt like it was the right thing to do. What a great guy.
But I got chatting with Dr. Baiju recently when the Secure Transport Agency did a delivery for Boo Boo Pharmacy. He told me that his master has already passed away.
Huh? Why would he say something like that? I mean, the guy's old, but he's still in great health.
Captain Wu, where did you meet this old master?
Just out on the street? I know that sounds dubious, but this is an educated and respectable gentleman we're talking about. There's no faking that.
Hold on a second. I just remembered something. My nephew-in-law met a medicine seller not too long ago, too. He also described it as a miracle cure. He spent a lot of mora on it, but when he brought it to Boo Boo Pharmacy, Herbalist Gui took one look and told him he'd bought nothing but regular painkillers. This Baifudze you met, did he by any chance have a goatee and salt and pepper hair?
He did.
If I may, Captain Wu, there's a lot of mora involved here. It seems like it would be worth asking this Dr. Baiju about his master, just to set the record straight. You could show him the medicine as well. Clearly there's some misunderstanding here.
You're right, Captain Kaeya. A quick trip to Boo Boo Pharmacy and I can get Dr. Baiju to clear all of this up. I'm sure it's all... hopefully it's all fine.
He left in a hurry. He must be stressed out of his mind right now.
Hey, let him deal with this, okay? No point in you stressing yourself out too. Fraud or not, it's up to Captain Wu to figure out exactly who he's gotten himself involved with. I'm no Dark Knight hero, or martial arts hero for that matter, and neither are you. Wait, or are you? Now that I think about it, I can see you having a secret double life as a martial arts hero here in Liyue. You certainly have the personality for it. Either way, Liyue has its own rules and regulations. Best to let the Ministry of Civil Affairs deal with this in the proper manner. If a couple of outlanders like us get involved, we might just end up muddying the waters, even with the best of intentions. We came here to enjoy ourselves, remember? We don't want to get our priorities mixed up. Oh, and look at that. The storyteller's taking the stage.
It is said that the sky's the limit for the aspirational soul. But alas, for the woes of the world are equally limitless. No such stranger to woes was Huang Guang, a man who, having suffered countless injustices at the hands of his fellow men, forsook them to dwell among the mountains and rivers. Yet fate fortuitous found him when he entered the tutelage of an adeptus and learned many mystical arts from them. Per his master's wishes, he then returned once more to the human world, only this time with a sworn duty to cleanse the land of demons and to see justice done wherever he might tread.
Is that all? Oh, I was hoping to hear the rest of the story. It was all right. I suppose the hero always has to sacrifice himself to save others, and it does make for some good storytelling. But it leaves you wondering how he really feels about the whole thing. Did he ever have second thoughts? Only he can know, I suppose.
Oh, I see the show is over. Yeah, I saw Dr. Baiju. Looks like it was a scam after all.
Then what are you waiting for? Don't just stand there. You need to report this to the Ministry of Civil Affairs right away.
Hold on. Let's not lose our cool. Get your story straight first, so you can give them a clear and detailed account of events in the order that they occurred. And one more thing. Do you still have a way to contact this guy?
Well, I'd arranged to meet him at the Yunshang Tea House once I've withdrawn the next sum of Mora, so I suppose he'll still be waiting on that.
Okay, so you've got another meeting lined up.
I've got no one to blame but myself for this. I can't believe I was so gullible. I guess the world isn't made for naive simpletons like me. Young lady, you're a good person, and I'm touched by your words of comfort. Still, it's up to me to find a way to get my Mora back. The consequences are mine alone to bear. At my age, I'm sure I should be comforting the young with words of wisdom rather than the other way around. What does that say about how I've spent my life?
It's obvious, isn't it? He needs to report the case to the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Come with me. I am quite curious. How does our chivalrous martial arts hero intend to come to Captain Wu's rescue here? There are countless victims of injustice in the world. We can't try to help each and every one of them, can we? Oh, I'm surprised. I didn't know you thought of me as someone who helps other people unconditionally. I'm genuinely flattered. But we both know that I'm not that kind of person, really. Your logic is very straightforward, and quite endearing in its simplicity. But I like how you think. So I'll indulge your martial arts hero aspirations for now. Captain Wu, how would you feel about owing me one more favor?
I'm sorry, Captain Kaeya?
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I found a way to recover your Mora that would leave the man who defrauded you feeling angry and frustrated, but give him no way to get back at you. If it could be done, and the only cost was owing me yet another favor, what would you say?
What exactly are you getting at?
The traveler here is adamant that you should ask me for another favor. Personally, I blame the storyteller. After the inspiring tale of Bravebeard, she's all gung-ho about playing hero and righting this injustice once and for all.
Captain Kaeya, young lady, thank you. I will humbly accept your kindness.
All right. Now here's what I'm thinking. All right, then it's settled. Per our brave hero's plan, let's rendezvous at Yanshang Tea House tomorrow.